Now at 6, this is Fox 61, Connecticut's news station.
Good evening, and thanks for joining us here on the Fox 61 News at 6. I'm Sarah Sanchez.
And I'm Brent Harden. We're on the Weather Watch tonight. We've got a wintry mix headed our way.
Yeah, meteorologist Ryan Breton joins us now on the Fox 61 Sky Deck. So, Ryan, what are we seeing out there right now and then heading into the rest of the evening?
Well, Sarah and Brent, we just actually have a little bit of light rain falling right now in downtown Hartford. And this is not a big system, but as the temperatures drop tonight, we will see a change over to snow in many areas. Let's start with a look at the radar. If you're in southern Connecticut, not much is falling, but a closer look at the Hartford area shows we do have this band of mainly light precipitation moving through. It's mixing with a little bit of snow and sleet in the hills, but as you get down into the Connecticut Valley, we just have some rain falling. We'll shift the radar down closer to New Haven. Not much falling there, and there really won't be much at all in southern parts of the state. Less precipitation expected there overnight tonight. 6 o'clock temperatures are still mostly above freezing. Once you get up into the hills of northwest and northeast Connecticut, though, we are around freezing, and over the next few hours, we may start to see some slick spots develop there. Quick look at the hour-by-hour forecast. By 8 o'clock this evening, we'll have that band of snow continuing off and on in northern Connecticut. We'll go toward midnight, and at that point, still some off and on light snow in the northern half of the state, while southern areas closer to the shoreline won't be seeing too much at all. As for tomorrow morning's commute, we'll bring you closer to 5 or 6 in the morning, and by that point the steady precipitation is done, but we may still have some patches of light freezing drizzle and light freezing rain, so still some slick spots possible for the first few hours of tomorrow morning. As for the snowfall totals, expecting nothing really at all on the shoreline. There could be a coating in spots, a coating to an inch as you head inland, and then once you get up in elevation, 1 to 2 inches of snow possible in the hills of northwest and northeast Connecticut. So Brent and Sarah, it's not a big storm, but there may be some slippery spots developing overnight tonight into first thing tomorrow morning. I'll be back with much more on a warm-up in the forecast. We'll see you in just a bit.
Thank you, Ryan. All eyes are on Bridgeport at this hour for an unprecedented do-over primary that has gained national attention. Fox 61 political reporter Emma Wolforce is in Bridgeport following incumbent Mayor Joe Ganim. She joins us live from the polling place at Discovery Magnet School. Emma.
Yes, Sarah, I just spoke with incumbent Mayor Ganim a few minutes ago. He was addressing quite a large crowd of supporters here outside this polling place just a few minutes ago. He and those volunteers who are supporting him are trying to get out for a final push in these last couple of hours here before polls close. And there has been very low voter turnout today as people here in Bridgeport head to the polls for the third time in the last 5 months for this now all too familiar matchup between incumbent Mayor Joe Ganim and challenger John Gomes. Ganim says he's hearing frustration from residents, but he's also heard from some people that they're showing up to exercise their right no matter what, a sentiment he hopes will grow in the next 2 hours.
To get through this primary and then be able to move forward. So the larger the percentage of people that come out, I think it assures people again that this is a strong, and hopefully will be a strong victory, but a strong election determined by as many people as we can see.
And Mayor Ganim says those past 2 elections are just that, in the past, really hoping to move forward with today's primary. And Ganim also hoping that all of these volunteers he has spread out across the state will succeed in getting some more people to the polls in that final push before 8 p.m. For now, live in Bridgeport, Emma Wolforce, Fox 61. Connecticut's news station.
All right, Emma, thank you. And the primary, of course, comes after a judge found widespread evidence of absentee ballot fraud in the contentious mayor's race. Fox 61's Matt Karen is live at the polls after talking with the John Gomes campaign. Matt?
Yeah, that's right. The big question is, are people going to bother to come out and vote after already doing it twice before? We're live here at the John Winthrop School, and we've seen people steadily coming in about the last hour as they get out of work here. But both campaigns have been doing their level best to get people to the polls, even if that means offering them a ride. And at last check here at the John Winthrop School, the tabulator was at 442 people. It is a heads-up Democratic match between Mayor Joe Ganim and challenger John Gomes. Gomes used to work for Ganim. Ganim, who spent 7 years in prison on federal corruption charges, has admitted and apologized for recent fraud in his campaign. But he's now claiming Gomes is doing the same thing by distributing absentee ballot applications to unauthorized volunteers. Gomes denied the claim, and a judge sided with him, saying those ballots won't be set aside. Now, the Secretary of the State has encouraged people to vote in person if possible. That's despite putting in place new safeguards to cut down on fraud, including stamps and serial numbers for ballots.
And the only way for us to restore Bridgeport, not only today but going forward, is by coming out to vote. And we have to show up in numbers, because we know the history of absentee ballot, we know the tricks they play, and they continue to play them. And we need to come out to vote. That's what I want to tell the people of Bridgeport.
Now, the state has put in place 2 permanent election monitors, but they've also recruited about 14 volunteer attorneys to report any irregularities back to the state. But they're also asking voters just to say something if they see something. So there's an election day email and hotline that are set up if you do need to report anything. You can find that information on our website, fox61.com. One other thing to note, just within the last 45 minutes that we've been here, we've seen at least 3 people not being able to vote because they are not registered Democrats. So they were told, sorry, you can't vote. It's a closed primary. So just a note, if you are planning on heading to the polls, you'll only be able to cast your ballot if you are a registered Democrat. For now, we're live at the John Winthrop School here in Bridgeport. Matt Caron, Fox 61, Connecticut's news station.
All right, Matt, thank you. And in West Haven tonight, ballots being cast for the 115th District State Representative. With the session set to start in just weeks, voters are choosing someone to take Dorinda Borer's seat since she is now mayor of the town. The candidates are Republican nominee Silvana Apicella, Democrat Bill Heffernan, and former Mayor Ed O'Brien, who is also a Democrat. This district leans heavily left, and Democrats have held the seat for decades. As vote counts pour in starting at 8 tonight, we'll have the latest for you online, on our news app, and on air at 10 and 11 tonight.
And a reminder, polls close at 8 tonight. If you're in line to vote, they have to let you vote even if it's past 8. They cannot turn you away, so stay in line. If there's any issue or you think you see fraud at a polling center, you can report it to the State Elections Enforcement Commission. The phone number is there on your screen, so take a look, take note of it. You can also always talk to your election monitor who's at the poll. Day 8 of the Michelle Troconis trial and testimony brings us back to Hartford. That's where police say Jennifer Dulos' estranged husband, Fotis Dulos, was dumping evidence the night Jennifer went missing. And along for the ride, Michelle Troconis. She's still maintaining her innocence after being charged with conspiracy to commit murder. Fox 61's Julia LeBlanc has the details on today's testimony. Julia.
For the very first time, we are seeing some of the evidence investigators say they pulled from those trash bags they say Fotis dumped throughout the city of Hartford the night Jennifer went missing. Now, before we show you at home some of that evidence, we do want to warn you some of the images may be disturbing. Going through garbage.
That's what was a clear poncho with blood-like substance.
Prosecutors pulling out pieces of evidence investigators found in trash bins along Albany Ave in Hartford the night Jennifer Dulos went missing. Police say her estranged husband, Fotis Dulos, is seen on surveillance video dumping the bags with Michelle Troconis in the passenger seat.
It was a white bath towel with a lot of blood-like substance on the towel.
Connecticut State Police Detective Kevin Duggan showing the jury items he pulled from the bags along Albany Ave in 3 different locations. Items he says had what looked like blood on them 6 days after Jennifer was last seen alive.
It was a white t-shirt with what appeared to be a blood-like substance on the t-shirt, and we found that suspicious.
Duggan says they found more evidence with what investigators believed was bloodstains on them, like these zip ties, 2 ponchos, a sponge, a bent mop or broom handle, pieces of cloth, a razor blade, a screwdriver, and some gloves. Prosecutors pulling the evidence out for the jury.
There's specks of blood-like substance on the palm, and there's a blood-like substance on the edge of the glove as well.
And in another trash bag, investigators found this.
1 plastic garbage bag tied in a knot containing a shirt and bra with blood-like substance.
We're blurring these images as they could be disturbing for viewers. When shown in the courtroom, friends of Jennifer getting emotional. Detective Duggan says both the shirt and bra were cut down the middle, with the Vineyard Vines t-shirt carrying this logo.
It's a Vineyard Vine slogan for "Every day should feel this good."
All items defense attorney John Schoenhorn says have nothing to do with his client.
Nothing that was in those bags will be shown to have had anything to do with Michelle Troconis or that she knew what was in any of those bags.
Schoenhorn says Troconis was in the passenger seat making phone calls, thinking they were heading to Starbucks.
If you were riding in the car, looking at your phone, doing whatever, you would not necessarily know whatever Doulos was up to, whatever he was planning. Like I said, you just have to wait and see.
Now, testimony picks back up tomorrow morning at 10 a.m. for day 9 of this trial. We are in Stamford. Julia LeBlanc, Fox 61, Connecticut's news station.
Julia, thank you. And from the very first developments in this story when Jennifer Doulos disappeared more than 4 years ago to now close daily coverage of the Troconis trial, you can find all of our coverage, including a detailed timeline of events and daily live streaming of court on the Fox 61 app and on our website. We have a consumer alert tonight from Stu Leonard's. The FDA is recalling cookies sold at the chain stores because of an undeclared allergen that's being blamed for one person's death. The FDA says these Florentine cookies were sold at Stu Leonard's stores in Danbury and Newington. Stu Leonard's says the cookies don't say they contain peanuts. In a statement, the company says they bought the cookies from another company, which did not tell them they changed the ingredients. They are sending their condolences to the family of the victim who died from that allergic reaction.
It's terrible. Well, staff at Connecticut Children's are looking to combat the children's mental health crisis. A grand opening was held this morning for the hospital's new pediatric mental health care unit. The state-of-the-art facility will connect children with resources so they can be treated for medical and psychological issues.
Still to come here on the news, it's